All right, guys, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai, Korean and Taiwanese qualifiers, as we now have our second last series of the night. It's going to be HyuN going up against Azubu-san.
And so far, San's crushed through Zerg players. Let's see if he can play up against HyuN, who at the start of the day when we were casting Roro, when I was talking about top 3 Zergs, HyuN's definitely getting up there.
Yeah.
Definitely getting up there. I don't think he's top 3 at the moment, especially not when it comes to accomplishments. But he's a rising. He's arguably top 5 to a lot of people right now.
So many second places for this gent. As we now jump into the first game, spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner as our red Zerg, we have HyuN. And down to the bottom left, as our blue Protoss, we have Azubu-san.
HyuN is currently 19 in the WCS point system. And I think he's got a lot of his results just from traveling around. In WCS, he was round of 32. He's still in Challenge League now, but he made the transition over to America, which is where he's going to get all his points from.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of points there. But as you said, he's been having fun recently. Getting results left and right. Round of 8 double time at DreamHack, and hopefully he can start to get up there to really hit a high finishing position, because when he does that, I think that's where we start to really confirm how well he is compared to other Zergs.
I think also another good thing to point out about HyuN is he wears fantastic pants.
Yeah.
Fantastic pants.
He does those black and white ones.
I don't know where you possibly buy those from.
In Korea, you can get anything.
Seemingly. he lives in his own world. But San, meanwhile, again, he hasn't been around for too long in terms of where has he been recently. But now he's very active in the European scene in terms of weekly tournaments, in terms of qualifying for WCS, and he's crushing them Zergs. So HyuN here, surely he knows what San could be up to.
It depends. It depends, because, I mean, how often have these played against each other? They currently play in different regions in WCS within Challenger League, trying to get into Premier League, both of them. When you say Challenger League, you think, oh, he's not really a Premier League player, but it's their attempt to get into Premier League, which is the reason why they're in Challenger League. And if San's able to do well, and likewise HyuN, we could see them go right to Premier League and play in the round of 32. But yeah, it really depends on HyuN. Does he know his opponent? Remember, the build orders are hidden for both of these players. Has he, been able to watch any of this stream to see his opponent play? If not, then he's going to play reactionary.
I think HyuN has I want to call it foreigner smarts, to know that there's this stream going on, and he could have potentially watched it if he was on a bit of a break before these games. Because he involves himself in the foreign scene quite a lot in comparison to most Koreans, I would say. Yeah,
definitely. He actually originally was on Dream T, which it had English players in it in Brood War.
Yeah. Jinro was one, right?
Dream T Jinro? I'm not sure if Jinro was.
Who is it?
But I know a few of them were. There's a couple of them. And then he went over to MBC, the team MBC. Was the same team that Sea Shield, that played for Team Liquid in 2012 for StarCraft 2, played it, NBC. And him, so HyuN and Sea Shield were very friendly when it comes to Team Liquid members. You could speak to them in English a lot at different events when they were there. So he's always been within the foreign scene, and he continues to be that kind of guy that is very likable.
It's going to annoy me now. I really want to find that out, but anyway, I'm sure you can get on it at some point. We have HyuN here, just droning up where he can. He's already spotted everything that's going on in his opponent's natural. Sees the cannon, sees the cybernetics core timing, and for now, nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing out of the ordinary in the slightest. Warp gate starts. No weapons upgrade have started just yet. It would be kind of crazy. He doesn't really have the gas for it. And yeah, I think we'll probably see a 2-base play out of Mr. San here. Wouldn't be out of the realms of impossibility.
HyuN loves... wait a minute. Hold on. I was looking at Jinro, and it says something about Dream T. Here we go. He had previously been invited to Team Liquid during the days of Brood War, but he declined that invite in order to remain with the South Korean clan Dream T.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, Jinro it was. Going back to HyuN, gasless at the moment until the 6-minute mark where he's just taking them. HyuN loves his fast hive and he loves Hydralist play. And fast hive is going down for the Vipers. But look at this game. 1 gateway expand. If spotted, is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Because HyuN can play around to this. And he sees it. So now he's like, come on, man. This early?
Yeah.
And the Stargate comes down behind it. So the Stargate's going to be for Void Rays here. It makes no other sense to build anything else. It has to be Void Rays, I think, to defend against the third. Or help, you know, defend the attacks on the third. HyuN, what is he going to do? Immediately slaps down a layer. And I think this is going to be for, like, really fast Hydras towards the space.
This is so hard to hold. Who was it? There was someone in Challenger over the weekend in Challenger qualifiers that did exactly the same thing. Might have been.
Remember Baby Knight versus Rhett in Premier League?
Baby Knight versus Rhett. Was it
on Star Station?
Ah, maybe that was what I'm thinking about.
Baby Knight took the third base really fast, and Rhett just crushed.
Yeah.
Roach won an evolution chamber coming down here for HyuN, who immediately upon seeing this has just rushed up his drone count. He's built what? He's got 6 Zerglings, and he's only ever had 6 Zerglings. His opponent's gone over to his Void Ray, and he's got, you know, a cannon really surrounded by his gateway pylons on his third to make sure it doesn't get broken down. But like I said, a 4th base coming down for HyuN. Is he going to pressure it? He's not pressuring it fast, but he definitely can still put pressure on that. If he puts down a Hydral's Den really fast.
And there we go. That goes down. I'm curious to see if he's actually just going to go for his standard hive timing as well, because it comes at around the 9-10 minute mark, but he could quite easily just delay it a little bit.
I think it will be delayed a little bit.
Yeah?
I think he'll focus much more on units to try and do something towards his third base. The funny thing is he has seen the Void Ray with the Zergling, so he now knows that isn't a robotics facility and that's not a rush towards Colossus, which means he doesn't need to go to Hive, doesn't need to get the Vipers down. So upon seeing this, he knows, well, if you're going to focus your defense on Stargate play, then I'll use Hydras.
Just killing off Overseer here, which in the end has pretty much seen everything anyway. How many units do we have out right now? Whoa, he's going up to another 10 drones. So I think after that drone wave, sitting at almost 80 drones, should probably stop.
I really thought he'd be building Hydras there. With 10 drones, he's playing the ultimate greed. 4th base down with gases already. He will throw down a 5th base, and what he'll also do is upgrade off 3 evolution chambers. With 2 more coming in, he'll get +1 melee and carapace all at once. He's like, you know, screw it. If you're going to play like this, I'll play like this. Very greedy. So not so much looking to get Hydras to his opponent's base, but to do the same, almost.
Yeah, just seeing everything with the Hallucinated Phoenix in terms of expansions, as sees that creep up to the top right-hand corner. So now San knows exactly what he's playing against, as well as those triple evolution chambers. And even sending out more Hallucinated Phoenix. I really like the usage of these prolonged Hallucinated Phoenixes later on, because it's giving him so much intel. He always knows what his opponent's doing, but whether or not he can react to it accordingly.
Yeah, he's always looking for the Spire or Hive. That's the 2 things you always look for. Sees a Hydra just pop out from the lair, so he knows his opponent's still building lair units, and he hasn't. Where is the infestation pit?
It's in the middle here.
Oh, but he hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he will go over to Hive, and he will go towards his Vipers now. But the way that 3 evolution chambers work, it's so cool, because what will happen is that he'll go to Hydra Viperlisk.
I like it, man.
And then we'll go over to Ultralisk really fast, and they will have also great upgrades.
Yeah. It's a scary prospect here for the Protoss. He's getting a few Archons as well, so Void Ray Archon mix ensuing right now, along with a few charge lots. And he is macroing up considerably, but so many upgrades on the way for HyuN right now, really gaining a lot of power and a lot of momentum to the point where I don't know if San's going to be able to hold that off, because right now he's not. He can't do any damage. There's no room for him to really do any damage, unless he went for like a recall with Void Rays somewhere in the middle of nowhere. But
it's a very strong play that HyuN's done. Ultimate greed. This is what Rhett would like to do every single game. This is what every Zerg player would love to do every single game. 3 evolution chambers, straight up to 80 drones before building any units, basically. HyuN does have a couple of roaches on the left-hand side. He was trying to scout to see if the fourth base had gone down or not, but didn't see it. First robo, sorry, coming in. +1 attack on air. Oh, I think that this play from HyuN may be too strong.
Maybe.
Like, he's already got Vipers coming in. He's going to pull the Void Rays over. It's really difficult to call because I haven't seen two players play like this greedy before.
Yeah,
I'm trying to envision what the fight would go down like, but it's hard.
Generally, you would have had some little pokes here and there, but neither player has really gone for it up until this point where we're having a few Zealots warp in where they can to try and do some damage. But now, still with more Hallucinated Phoenix, there's almost always been a Hallucinated Phoenix over his opponent's base. He's trying to spot what he can. And did he spot the Hive? Yes, he did. So
yeah, he saw the Ultras Cavern too, so he knows what his opponent's going for. Probably won't even build Colossus this game. Probably just go straight to Immortals.
Yeah.
Oh, Warp Prism first. Okay, so Warp Prism harassed, then maybe Immortals after this. Knowing that the... Well, the thing is, if he builds Immortals preemptively, he's still got to deal with the Hydras, so it is a hard call to make, but I think he would just stick on Immortals. He's got Storm, right, to deal with Hydras.
It's interesting because...
Well, actually, he hasn't.
Does he not have Storm?
Well, he's got 2 High Templar, but not with the army. They are on his third.
And we have a lot of pylons just going down for San at the south as well. Both these armies maneuvering around in the middle of the map now as they're approaching max, both of them. San going for some Zealot harassment down on the right-hand side of this map. But San, if he takes an engagement, every single one of those Vipers is going to pull off the Void Rays, making it very, very annoying for him to fully take that engagement.
Yeah, he's got his 2 High Templar with his army now, and it's actually gone up to 4. Feedbacks and Storm both quite important here. There's the Vipers. What are you doing?
Ooh,
what are you doing?
Bye-bye, Vipers.
Oh, that was a bit of a mistake. That was a bit of a mistake for sure.
Yoink. And gets 2 of the Void Rays. But for the price of 2 Vipers, well, he gets a few High Templars as well. And double Stargate's going down behind this. So San's trying to transition into a lot of Sky Toss.
Yeah, he wants to go over to a bunch of Void Rays from this position, but we do have HyuN moving forward. And this army's it's got 2 upgrades. Ooh. Storm needs to come down. Does he have Storm?
San's coming in from an interesting direction here, and he pins a lot of those Hydralisks up against this. No roaches for those Hydralisks to actually tank it. And San, with a very, very cool engagement direction, is able to crush this. But behind it, 17 Hydralisks.
17 Hydras and Ultralisk. What else is going to be made now? More Ultras coming in. The transition has been made, but Void Ray's still out there. Hydra, and actually, War Prism gets into the main base here. That's going to be very frustrating to deal with. That was a very nice fight there. I didn't think it would go as easy as it seemed to go to San, who hardly lost anything. Yeah,
he took a very good engagement in terms of the positioning there, along with good force fields as well. And now, the Ultralisks for HyuN as well as the Hydralisks trying to clean all of this up, but San's just everywhere.
Zerglings, 98 Zerglings. Whoa. He's just looking to kill everything here, but does he have enough to deal with the Void Rays?
I don't know, man.
Maybe.
He has 11 Hydralisks out right now. If just a few of those die off to Archons, Zealots, anything, the Void Rays will end up cleaning everything up. This is going to be difficult for him if he's not careful. Yeah, and there's no Mothership Core, no way to return. Hydras get into the Void Ray line. And just the sheer amount of resources and upgrades, everything together that HyuN set himself up so nicely, even though he did lose that fight. Look at how he just powers forwards. Yeah, it's just a complete bulldozer. HyuN got to the point where he has so much money that he didn't even care. He can just quite easily come and ravage this net third base that's up and running for a long time, but there are a lot of Archons that can't actually move around in that space, so not the easiest for them to engage into. No energy for an overcharge, but it's not really going to save you from that many Ultras. And now he loses his third, and there's more and more Hydras coming in. This is a very powerful army because everything's like equally upgraded. Yeah. The Hydras have +3 attack. And the Ultralisk going to march on forwards again here, tanking what they can so the Hydralisks can dish out the damage from the back. Even Queen's here to transfuse. These Ultralisks are not going to die for a long time, especially if it's can transfuse, but it doesn't matter. HyuN takes game number 1. San, a very interesting macro game, but not able to do it. He opened up kind of greedy, but HyuN was more greedy. And unless you're equal greedy or more greedy, then HyuN just set himself up better. He went in and said, all right, if you're going to take your third like that, you can't attack me. You're going to have to focus on defense because a normal Zerg player attacks you. That was an interesting play there from HyuN. A really, really strong macro economy focused play, which allowed him to do everything. It would be so strange if you were saying you either play as greedy or more greedy, and sounds like, right, I'm going to play really greedy this game. And then HyuN says, I'm going to play more greedy. And then sounds like, I'm going to make more expansions. And then
it's like 5 hatch versus 3 Nexus opening. Like,
what's going on here, guys? This is weird. But in a real world, guys, that probably wouldn't work out. San would probably just get punished. Anyway, so going on to game number 2. HyuN now, is that the first game that he's lost against Zerg in this entire tournament?
I think for today, yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone else he beat 2-0.
Wow.
But HyuN's strong, very strong.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be interested to see what happens in this next game. Does San now say, do I play more greedy or do I, play less and try something else? The next map is going to be in Neoplanet S.
I need to join.
Which can be a little bit more difficult to take a third on, to play greedy on. But, I mean, Newkirk isn't the best map either, but he made it work. Be interesting to see how this plays out. But there was super good play from HyuN.
Very, very nice indeed. So, these two players now who have... Again, they've become accustomed to that foreign scene quite nicely. San in very, very different ways to how HyuN has.
Yeah.
HyuN, as you said, battling out in WCS America, while San qualified for WCS Europe and has been spending a lot of time practicing against the Taiwanese players and playing over there. Now they battle it out for a spot in the Korean qualifier for Shanghai. That's kind of strange, but there you go. That's what it is.
All right, told HyuN to go, and hopefully he'll start this game in a second. But yeah, untouched Zerg does whatever he wants. 3 evolution chambers, skips along to victory.
You know what I keep doing when I'm playing Zerg on ladder? I keep trying to punish a quick third if I see it. I'm going to do that because it looks really fun.
Yeah, there's 2 ways. There's 2 ways to approach it. You either try to punish it, but if it doesn't work, then you fall even further behind, right?
Yeah.
Or you just play like he did there. But it really depends on, first of all, what tech the opponent goes for. Does he go for Stargate, and then does he go for Colossus fast, so you can change up your army composition as a Zerg player? And you also got to scout that sometimes when you take a fast third, you also throw down gateways very fast from that injection of money, and could be an attack from the Protoss player too. So you've got to really, really be on top of scouting if you're going to play like HyuN just did.
Alrighty then. Going into game number 2, spawning up to the top right-hand corner as our Red Zerg, currently 1 game up, looking to advance on against Mr. Myonzik. We have Quantix HyuN, and spawn down to the bottom left-hand corner. They play out from Azubu, the current TESL champion, I believe. He is Azubu-san.
All right, so this map, it looks like he is just going to go for a Nexus play on Neoplanet S. Could be early Forge, but with the probe moving out so early, it should just be either a late Forge or Nexus first. HyuN, though, one of HyuN's best plays, actually, against a normal Protoss player, is for very, very early Vipers. Like, what's his hive? 9 minutes or something?
Oh, yeah,
incredible?
9 minutes 30, 9 minutes, just crazy, crazy stuff. And it catches that point where you have the Colossus coming out at such a horrific time. He actually, I think he did it like 3 games in a row against ESC Showtime in the recent Go for SC2 monthly finals in the European scene, and just Showtime had no answer. Difficult stuff. Yeah,
it is hard to deal with these early Vipers, and you got to be so on top of getting your High Templar down. We'll see, though, how HyuN's going to play. I think HyuN, though, is not so much going to be the dictator in this matchup. He's just going to be kind of responding. His response, as we saw previously, was more money. You got money, I want more.
Money, money, money. Well, HyuN can try and claim his natural, but that's not going to be allowed, as San will block that. And getting his spawning pool down. Nexus first for San. Liking it.
Yeah, it should be followed by a 17 Forge here. 17 supply, next 150 minerals into a Forge. And then usually not another probe, straight to pylon. So he can continue his probe production. Some players like to go 17 gateway as well, which is what he's waiting there for. And then probe production will begin. And then he can actually chrono boost immediately too.
It's a cool little wall off he makes as well. There's really not much room to actually breach this on a map like Neoplanet S. The curious thing is, though, it being Neoplanet S, Does San now go into the macro game, or does he stick with his lovely little blink plays that he was using prior?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? In the previous game when we saw San play on this map, he did go for that blink kind of +1 attack, +1 armor into +2 attack game. And it was strong. It was strong. But HyuN is definitely a player who knows how to beat that. I don't know if HyuN played against Stardust. I think HyuN was a victim to Stardust at DreamHack.
Perhaps.
I'm pretty sure. Let me quickly have a quick look. I have a feeling he was. Yeah, he was. He lost 2-1. So he knows exactly this kind of playstyle and how to deal with it. So, yeah, she's looking at Stardust, went through Violet 2-0, HyuN 2-1, and then Jaedong 3-2 in the DreamHack finals. But if a similar playstyle comes out, I'm pretty sure HyuN's going to be equipped to deal with it. He played against it. He's experienced.
He should be able to deal with it. We have plenty of drones on the way here for HyuN. And he's keeping an eye on the front of his opponent's base once again. So there's not a huge amount that can really happen from here that HyuN wouldn't be able to sniff out and see. He has his overlords positioned in the right locations. There's always a little bit of an annoyance, though, for this overlord eventually when it pushes out up to the north, because these gases aren't on that edge of the natural. They're further away, so it can be harder to spot that.
Yeah, it's harder to spot the gases, but it's easier to spot the main base because it is so small. You have the overlord that can poke into the main base. +1 attack is being researched here. Let's see where he allocates the rest of his resources. A robotics facility coming down quite early. Really early. Is it a classic Immortal push? Is it a classic?
A classic.
El Clasico?
Cool. I would like to see the El Clasico. That'd be cool.
I think it might be. I think it might be here.
Well, the Overlord gets pushed back before it can see the Robo facility.
And
That's
now that
annoying.
can never be spotted.
Yeah.
Ooh, an El Clasico build.
I'm liking it. Is it going to happen, though? Well, things are timed up
I
nicely.
think so. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to go straight up to Robotics Bay here. I think he's just going to add on the Immortal first and just go for it.
And the Overlords have been pushed back at every avenue. Throwing the gateways down in a spot where they can be spotted if he suicides that Overlord in. Well, I didn't even need to suicide it.
Warp Prism. Okay. The Warp Prism's going to be similar to how he played out previously.
Yeah.
On what map was it? Derelict. Yes.
Yeah.
But that didn't work out too well for him initially.
Yeah.
It definitely... Oh, the Stalker's surrounded.
Sad times.
Sad times there. So with the Warp Prism coming out, maybe if he hits the ramp?
That's going to be difficult, though.
Straight
the creep
away?
spread's already around it very nicely.
Let's see if he can spot it. HyuN. No, not yet. He hasn't spotted. I've been watching carefully.
This is the bit where we just commentate the Warp Prism. Nope, 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 no. Yep. Okay,
it's going. It can get all the way to the third here. And it's not been spotted. +1 attack is done. 4 gateways are ready, and it has not been spotted. There's drones in the production tab. He could actually kill this.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is okay. This is a good warp in there. And then he lifts up the Warp Prism, goes towards the third, and then warps in another 4.
He just barely sees the edge of it. The Immortals are on the way behind this as well. San.
Nice. And then warp in 4 more Zealots. He may be able to pick off this hatch.
Maybe able to do so.
Just careful, because there's so many roaches on the way.
Yeah, there's a level.
Is it drones? Is he going to go for? Is it...
Good mineral walk. Good mineral walk there by HyuN. Evacuates those drones out. And he's going to try and focus down the hatch tree. But there's so many roaches. Again, this is going to play out almost exactly the same as it did against his previous opponent.
Is he going to get the hatch? He should do. He should be. And then what he can do, go to the main base. I would go to the main, man. I'd force field that ramp. I'd force field that ramp.
May as well.
I'd piss him off. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But that's a good pick off there. Behind this, 1 Immortal's already down, and the second one's about to pop with another 3 gateways coming down. And he's got his +1 armor. So what we'll probably see, just because he doesn't have a Twilight Council this time, is as that +1 armor is about 80 odd %, he just goes. Just goes. But what he does want to focus on is warping in more sentries. There you go, 3 more sentries. Because he doesn't have that many force fields to keep his Immortals safe.
It's funny because I think that there was people in the past that have done very similar builds to this. People like ESC Daisy, or not ESC anymore, but Daisy was doing a 4-gate Warp Prism Assault and then into Immortal all-ins. And it had such great success. He did it against Nurchio, the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, and it tore him apart. And this is very, very similar to what we're seeing right now from San. And HyuN has got a tall order on his hand against this.
And he even killed off the creep tumor on that left-hand side to help this movement out. And look at this very, very strong army. The amount of force fields here, the Hydralisks are only at 4.
12 sentries.
Oh, man.
That's so much space control. Even if HyuN spreads himself out in this great concave once again against this, in this area, that is huge amounts of force fields. If San controls this calmly,
even if he screws up, I think he can still do it. He's got 1-1 upgrades versus 0-0.
Force fields go down as well as Time Warp, haphazardly somewhat, but there's a lot of Zealots dishing out the damage here at the front as well. No Carapace, so those Zealots are going to be able to tear through quite a lot of this. Zerglings flood in once again, but sealed off once with Force Fields, and now San takes a supply advantage with these Immortals pushing on forwards. HyuN just did not have the production capabilities to keep up with this.
No, and we see San move forward, and he will pick off this third again. This cannot be stopped. And it looks like through the simple move of picking off that third hatchery earlier on with the Warp Prism has enabled him to just power up way too strong. And HyuN, crippled for the majority of this game, does not have what it takes to be able to fight against this 1-1 army. And this series will get tied up, and we will be going to a game 3 here.
Look at how many sentries. He almost has 16 sentries there. A few of them do get taken down, but HyuN just gets demolished. This is the best testament to you need 3 hatcheries against an Immortal all-in than I have ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, look at this army. This is untouchable.
That's brutal. Well, HyuN here now pulls all the drones off. One last hurrah, but the force fields seal off the majority of them. So many Zealots, so much firepower in those 3 Immortals. How many kills? 18, 11, and 14.
A lot of kills, and now HyuN is like, okay.
Darn it.
Darn it. That's exactly what Koreans say, darn it.
Yeah.
As his second hatchery falls down, GG is called, and the series is tied up, and we'll be going to a game 3 between these 2 players to find out who has the chance to play against Myung-Sik, which will be the last game of the day, to grab that second spot alongside Innovation to China.
And if we do see San advance on against Myung-Sik, Myung-Sik's already beaten him 2-1 today in PvPs. So San's going to have to overcome a previous nemesis in this tournament. Whilst HyuN, he's always been good against Protoss, always been pretty good against them. In fact, fantastic against them. But San here is really throwing a wrench in the works. I think San just 2 bases again. I don't know what the map is just yet, but I think he's just 2 bases again because it's so strong. It
really does depend on the map, I think. Because some maps can be played for 3rd base, like Belshire Vestige, but his 2 base play is pretty strong. He's actually very strong with his aggression. You try to 3 on Newkirk. The next map is Akelon Waste. This is a perfect map to take a 3rd on. So it depends. You know, does he play against the grain maybe and just avoid what's normal and go against it?
We haven't seen Akelon at all today.
Yeah, it's the first game. This is such a nice map for a Protoss player, though. He can expand
definitely.
really, really early. There's no way to punish it. But if he does expand early, then he has to play against HyuN power play, which is all that Zerg economy that's untouched. Oh, looks like everyone left. Maybe it's not Akelon. Maybe it's the wrong version.
Maybe it isn't Akelon. Akelon. Whoops.
No, it's Derelict.
I was going to say.
Now you got a map for a 2 base.
I was surprised that it was Akelon because I don't even think it's in the map pool.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
That probably would have been the case.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So,
all right, so you want to join off me, and then we can jump into this before HyuN starts it.
Yeah.
I hope you've been enjoying this cast so far. We were in it. Well, I got up at 6. Well, you got up at 5?
I got up at 5. I live a little further away from you than you. But I woke up at 5 and then just watched a lot of Evo. So that was the reason for that.
I watched a little bit of Evo today. Watched the Street Fighter.
It was good over the weekend. Really good.
Semi-finals and above.
There was a lot going on over the weekend to watch. We had Evo. We had the WCS Challenger qualifiers. There was the EMS Dota thing going on. There was more Dota, I believe. There was LCS. Just tons and tons of esports. Although the fighting game community doesn't like being called esports, I don't think. So they were here before esports.
Yeah.
Apparently.
All right. So it was the wrong map, and it is now loading up on Derelict.
Awesome.
So we saw this map earlier today. This is where we saw San go for the Warp Prism play, the one that we just saw. Very similar. We'll see if he repeats his strategies again, or if he's got something else up his sleeves to try to win this series.
We'll see as we have spawning up to the top right-hand corner as our red Zerg, Mr. Quantic HyuN, and out to the bottom left as our blue Protoss, Kaidarian Amulet Chief himself. He is Azubu-san. And that's all I ever think about when I think of San. I don't know, like, it's probably an unfair representation of him in general. Well, some might dispute that, but a Kaidarian Amulet, man, he's the player that certainly got that hurt.
I mean, San, the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear the word San, it's like, you say San, I say Zenith. Or it's the other way around, is it? I say San, you say Zenith.
Zenith.
You know, that's...
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he, originally on that team, then played at NAS Hoso.
Name another previous Zenith player.
Oh, he put me on the spot, and I'm not going to cheat either.
Because, I ask you because I can't. I can't off the top of my head.
I always get mixed up with Zenith players and also ZenX players.
Oh, yeah.
ZenX is the true baller team.
Didn't they, like, merge? We might be completely butchering StarCraft history right now.
All right.
Let's cheat.
I remember one.
Yeah?
And I'm looking at the list of players now, and I remember one. I remember two, that one sticks out the most.
Okay.
Actually, I remember three, properly.
All right, wait.
So the one I remember is
Kirix,
which was a super bailing heavy guy.
He was cool.
I remember Legal Mind, because it was a weird ID.
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy as
And
well.
I remember San, of course. And I remember Freaky. Freaky was like this young Zerg player.
He like made nothing but infestors, right?
Yeah, he was
that
the
guy.
infested Terran guy.
That was when he was on NS Hoso, though, right? I think.
Yeah.
This is fun. I like playing this game.
I don't remember the other players on that team. We are not going to say Camera Rush. I thought the Forge was early enough. Flint was another player. Core, Butterfly Effect. I kind of remember that name.
Yeah, I remember seeing him in GSL.
Back in the day. This is a long time ago.
Yeah, this is really long.
Yeah.
Is that guy called Bun Buns, or can I not see that right?
Ban Bands.
Oh, Ban Bands. I remember Ban Bands as well. Didn't he join us?
It was Ban Banzu Zenith.
Yeah.
Was his team. All these guys not around anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have fallen out, actually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when people fall out, it sucks, but when people keep going, it's better. And looks like I'm being handed a present.
Ooh, fantastic. What is it?
Oh, it seems to be a trophy.
Ooh.
Looks like I've already won the Intel Extreme Masters 2013 Shanghai tournament.
Ignore observing for a second. Let me observe the trophy.
You can look at it, but you can't touch it.
Ooh, that's nifty.
You can blow kisses at it, but you can't touch it.
Oh well, that's pretty cool.
Cloris, get off that! Cloris! No! No!
These are the worst struggle noises of all time.
You can't touch it, Cloris.
God damn it.
All right, so into this game, we have... I'll show you guys the trophy afterwards, don't worry.
That's pretty
cool. You
cool.
won't miss out. I'll show you the trophy afterwards. And, all right, so continuing on with this game, kind of got a little bit distracted by an old school team and, of course, a trophy being handed to me.
Yeah. Old school team.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a
Cool,
nice
man.
trophy.
It's got a little case and everything.
Yeah, so...
We're commentating this game really well.
I've got Innovation's trophy. Mate, I've got your trophy already. Okay, so looking at this game, it opened up quite slow. I guess we did the Tastosis moment there where we talked about nonsense for the first 2 minutes.
That,
but that's fine, man. We're entertaining within those first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, a probe's been snuck out.
It's like, it's never going to be shown.
But
All right, did the probe sneak out?
Yeah, but it's been spotted easily.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder what he's going to do from this position. Is he going to get the robotics facility down again like he has in the past couple games? He's got a lot of gas banked up here with no +1. What is it going to be for here?
Oh, there's the +1. Ooh.
Okay, well, is it now robotics facility? Does he go for the same warp prism play? Yes, maybe. So it's one of two things, right? It's either the warp prism or for the immortal push. Both are 100% viable from here.
I want to see it onto the high ground. I really, between the main and natural, I really want to see that. But we'll find out soon enough whether that's going to be the case. So Stalker pokes out and finds 1 or 2 Zerglings. Not too much more.
Third gas been taken at the right time here as well. This is, for HyuN, I guess, you know, it's not 100% necessary to scout what's coming, but it's scout it as it's being built, but it's important to at least see it coming.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you do get a little bit caught off. if you're a little bit unlucky like he was previously.
Well,
But one Overlord's going in.
Oh.
Does he get towards to see what's going on? And oh, he's got an Overlord on the natural.
Yeah, he should be able to see the majority of what's going on here. He's going to see the gateways in the main, whilst this Overlord gets pushed back, actually, and does not see the Robo facility in the end.
The one in the main, though.
He saw one gateway.
He's trying not to lose both for one that could get the scout, and he sees it. He sees it. So now he knows Warp Prism or Immortal. And he's got quite a lot of gases already. 4 gases just on its way.
A Zealot, Double Sentry, and Stalker's drop are now on the way. But I assume
That unique combo. From here, once he builds his Overlords, he should be building nothing but units.
Yeah.
Should be. If he builds drones, he's in trouble. 4 Roaches already on the way. Remember that 4 Zealots have not been warped in with this prior, so it's like 8 Zealots is really good. Immortals are definitely being made behind it. He's going to follow up with an Immortal push, but can he break the line? Here comes the first 4 Zealots.
I don't think this is going to work as well as it did in game 1.
HyuN's a lot more ready.
Yeah, those Roaches are about to pop.
Remember, there's no Mothership core here, so if this doesn't work, it doesn't work. Sick analysis.
Tough stuff here. Runs away, and, well, 1 Zealot. Does he get a queen? He got a queen! Hurrah. But that's it.
Well, he got a queen, but he's heading towards the ramp.
Oh, he's heading towards it. That's the cool thing that he's actually doing.
Already knows. Look, HyuN's already got units inside the main base. This is not working out too good here for San.
Not at all. HyuN is on the verge of holding this initial push off. And then the Immortals behind it. He's even going for the Hydro extend, so he feels comfortable right now. And there's so much room in between the bases here for HyuN to get a massive concave on that he should be able to shut down an Immortal push if it comes quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, this has not worked out well. If you compare the previous game, both strategies are the exact.
Yeah.
He looked to bring down the 3rd. He couldn't bring down the 3rd. And now HyuN's going to face off against this Immortal all-in with a much stronger and established economy. He's on 6 gases. Like, last time, as the Immortals were on creep, he was building 4 Hydras. They haven't even left the base yet, and he already has 11.
He's waiting for a 4th Immortal. Is he going to get a 5th as well?
No.
That would be crazy.
No.
Well,
no way.
No.
In the year 2004.
Keep doing this, man.
Welcome to the outside world of an inside joke.
Yeah.
No, he's not getting a 5th. It's only 4.
Yeah. Well, the Sentry starts to glow into the Overseer, but the Overseer has seen the move out already. So San has to try and make this work, but HyuN is going to position himself very, very nicely in this area.
Cool. Doesn't die, but it spends its energy already.
The Hydros is chasing.
Oh, almost. If that had +1 attack.
Yeah.
Oh, all of them.
If all of them, yeah, if all of them at the very beginning.
All right, let's have a look. 168 supply. HyuN. Look at 125. This is going to be very difficult to break down. There's no +1 armor either, unlike previously. He cut that corner to build his army stronger because he didn't do enough damage. I can't see it happening this time.
No.
Like when I said earlier, yeah, you can be surprised sometimes from the Protoss Ball, but there's no blink. There's not that many Stalkers.
There's a lot of
There's a million Hydras.
Oh, look at that concave that he has. Even with those Hydras separated at the very back, there's a lot of damage being done here. The Immortals have stayed alive for quite a while, so they are doing a lot of damage, but look how quickly that gateway force has melted. All HyuN needs to do is bring in 40 Zerglings and say goodbye. Or not even that.
Absolutely crushing. And this is what happens if you don't manage to do the harassment early and it doesn't work. And with 40 Zerglings meeting up with all these Hydras that are coming in, +2 attack on the way as well, all those Zealots that died off.
The Zerglings run on in, and now he's forced to try and pick up the Immortals where he can with the Warp Prism. Even if he tries to do that, there's still not enough for him to really make this work.
Yeah, the Immortals are falling now, and with the Immortals falling down, he has no beef to this army. I mean, great micro to try to keep them alive here, but unfortunately for San,
no beef.
His run in this qualifier is coming to a close here.
Yeah. And that's going to be it, really. I mean, he's going to scramble on home. There you go, GG. HyuN advances on, and he will play against Myunzik for the final spot at the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai.
That's right.
Career's over.
Some may say he is unstoppable.
May do, man.
Maybe. Going up against Myunzik, though, we saw how good he played early against Innovation. HyuN is pretty damn good in Zerg versus Protoss, though.
Yeah.
If he knows what's coming, it's like he can't be stopped. So that, I think this is going to be a good series to end the afternoon on, early afternoon on.
Yeah, especially since we saw Munzik play pretty well against Innovation, not going to lie. So there's certainly a very, very high caliber of talent there from him that some people probably weren't aware of until today. That's
right. We'll find out how that series is going to be. It will be a best of 3 to round us up here.
HyuN's series throughout this, it's all been... Oh, he lost to Munzik as well.
He did earlier on,
Every single one of his series has been ZVZ win up until the point where he just beat San. So Munzik knocked out both of those players to the lower bracket.
And now HyuN gets to come up for his revenge.
So will he do it, guys? Join us after the break when we'll see who advances on to the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai. Will it be HyuN or will it be Munzik?